Let's just take a moment at the start of this Raw ups and downs to remind ourselves that it's alright to keep positive and stay happy regardless what may have happened in the past. Okay? Cool. But hello, my name is Simon Miller, you're watching What Culture Wrestling, and this is indeed Ups and Downs for Raw, where we go through the show and we give the good bits an up, and we give the bad bits a down. I'm the judge, jury and executioner, which means what I say goes, kinda, but you don't agree and that's cool, but let's get on with it, because there's loads to talk about. I love the opening to Raw because it was full of teases, and I am nothing without a good tease. Whatever that means, just getting it up. There was of course the Miz TV segment with Roman Reigns that was announced at the pay-per-view last night, but the great thing here was the whole thing, and later in the show too, it was just one big tease for a Shield reunion, and given that we've all been going on about Shield reunion for a while, and also because WWE is probably about to hit a bit of a lull, so now's the time to do it, it was great. Now not only was it directly hinted at and brought up by The Miz, but look who was standing across from Roman Reigns during this segment. It was The Miztourage and The Miz, and if you can't do maths, that would be 3 people, and if you remember, there were 3 people in the Shield. My guess would be this is building to something at Survivor Series or TLC, which is where the Shield made their debut, don't forget, and we will indeed see the Shield versus the Miztourage. I know the Miztourage isn't great, but hey, let's take what we can get, and the whole thing will be exciting, especially because later on in the night, we did see Roman Reigns versus The Miz. Roman Reigns won, and The Miz and the Miztourage got in the ring and beat him up, and I tell you, they really beat him up. But then what did they do afterwards? They did the Shield salute, which is another tease. I like the teasing. Either way, this was a fun little story that did play out throughout the entirety of Raw. Even though Roman Reigns still comes across like a massive heel, you can't blame WWE for trying. Well, you can because it's probably too long in the tooth now, but if you want to get him cheered, a Shield reunion, probably going to do the job. This beginning did lead to an impromptu tag match with Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan of all people, because Jeff Hardy has shoulder problems and is going to need surgery, and they were taking on Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, and it was fine, just getting it down. Now the only reason for this is because if you are planning to do something big with the Miztourage, don't job him out in a random tag team match on Raw. Give him something, make him feel important. Now, of course, we don't know what the plan is. Maybe it's The Miz and the Bar versus the Shield. But come on, don't just throw him under the bus minutes after you told me, oh, maybe there's something here. Maybe I should care about Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. It did work for Jason Jordan, and Matt Hardy continues to be an utter delight, but I felt like this was a bit strange and a bit unnecessary, so it's getting it down, but it's like the most minor of downs. Another down comes flying into the picture though, because then we did see the rematch between Apollo Cruz and Elias, and given we didn't want to see it the first time, why did we get it again? Down. Elias did get the victory again, then afterwards, Titus O'Neil did get involved, and they were kind of hinting that maybe Titus O'Neil is going to return to the ring to have a match against Elias. You know what? I'm actually alright with that, as long as Elias wins, because if we're trying to build Elias, let's build Elias. It still all felt a bit hapdash though, because the match at the pay-per-view came out of nowhere, and then this came out of nowhere. Why didn't we start a story and then start putting the pieces together rather than go, well, we need a pre-show match. Oh, that would be a nice little tale. Let's do it again. Silly. A quick up for the Finn Balor promo, because he did seem to suggest that he's going to go after Brock Lesnar's Universal title, and that's something I want to see. Lesnar versus Balor would be great. Balor deserves to go after that belt, given that he lost it because of his shoulder injury, so I hope they see that. Got me excited. At least that's what I hoped anyway. Now, WWE has to be headed in this direction, otherwise they wouldn't have let Finn have these words come out of his mouth. But on Raw, he then had a match with Goldust, and then who appeared on the Titantron? Bray Wyatt. This is a down for 2 reasons. One, Goldust seemingly turned heel here, so he's gone heel, face, heel, face, heel, face, and I've lost all semblance of what he's supposed to be. And also, I don't want to see Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor anymore. It's done. It's over. Finn Balor beat him as the Demon, and as we found out in No Mercy, Finn Balor beat him in a man-on-man match. It was the stupidest thing ever. Just end it. Leave it be. Move forward. Please. Another up though for everything involving Braun Strowman, because while he did lose a little too easily at No Mercy, he was awesome here, and I love it. Up. But Kurt Hawkins, who by the way is quickly becoming my new favourite person on Raw, did march out to the ring and said he's going to end his losing streak and challenged anyone in the back. And then Braun Strowman came out and Kurt Hawkins legged it, and it was hilarious. I'm not a fan of anyone being booked like that big of a coward, but Kurt Hawkins did it so well, it did make me like him a bit more. And then of course Strowman caught up to him, and he absolutely killed the man, which we had to expect given that he lost at the pay-per-view. He was always going to give some retribution against somebody, just happened to be Kurt Hawkins. But then he challenged anybody else in the locker room to take him on, and Dean Ambrose came out, and they had a really good match, so that's an up. And while Ambrose lost, it was just awesome. It was fun. It was great. You could also kind of see it as even more seeds being planted for the Shield reunion, because who's Braun Strowman's biggest competitor in the WWE? That's right, Roman Reigns. There was more fallout here too, because then backstage Dean Ambrose was all broken up, and Seth Rollins came up to him and said, dude, you shouldn't have done that with the tag champs. We've got to protect these belts. But even with that said, next week now I'm going to take on Braun Strowman. That was a bit weird, but again, we're teasing. As I said at the start, tease me, baby. I love it. On a side note too, Seth also had a fun little match with Sheamus. That was it really. It was fine, it was okay, it was decent. Don't really need to see those two go at it ever again, considering we've seen it about 72,000 times. But hey, it was there, it was fine. I'm also going to give an up to everything involving the women's title on Raw, because I like that too. So that's why it gets an up. That's how the show works. Not much to say other than the fact that Alexa Bliss came out to the ring, she cut a promo which completely underlined her heel status, and then Mickie James came out to confront her after everything that Bliss had said last night on Raw Talk. It made me really happy because Mickie James is drastically underused, and it finished with Mickie James kicking Bliss in the face, so that's our new women's title feud. There'll be good matches. 2 thumbs up. Sticking with the women, and this is a little bit unfair of me, but I am going to give it down for everything between Sasha Banks, Bayley, Nia Jax, and Emma. So yes, I said it, so it gets a down. Now I have a reason. At No Mercy, we got the first hint of a feud between Sasha Banks and Bayley because they went at it, and then on Raw, Bayley was all like, Sasha, I sent you some text messages, and Sasha was like, yeah, I didn't reply. I don't have to reply to you. I'm busy. Now this led to a tag match between Bayley and Banks and Nia Jax and Emma, and here's my 2 problems with it. 1, there was no follow-up to any of the dissension, and 2, Banks and Bayley just won. Now it is good that Bayley scored the pin here because finally she gets a win, because before this she just lost all the time, but I felt that Nia Jax had loads of momentum coming out of the back of No Mercy, and here, that was just forgotten about. So all the good she did on Sunday has kind of just flown out the window like a bird that's lost in your house. I mean, it's early days and I'm jumping the gun too far here, but that's just my gut. That's why it's getting it down. There's the comments. Get mad. Which brings us to the last segment of the night, and it did involve quite literally everybody in 205 Live. And can you believe this? My gosh, it's getting it up. But we did actually feature the 205 Live guys in a proper segment. It felt important, and it was loads of fun, and that's all the criticisms I've had about the whole division, so I can't complain. The short version here is everybody on the roster hates him, and they all came out to confront him here. So early in the night, Enzo had gone to Kurt Angle and said, can I have like a no contact clause so no one beats me up? But then Neville came out and was like, I don't give a crap about that clause, and he did indeed beat the crap out of him. It was awesome though, because all the players were showcased on Raw, all of this made sense, and it actually made me want to see where it's going to go, and dare I say it, even watch 205 Live tomorrow night. The only real problem here is that I have no idea, and nobody else does either, if Enzo is a heel or if Enzo is a face. But there is something here. I mean, Enzo is super annoying. I enjoy watching him get his ass whooped. So I don't know. I think maybe, just maybe, WWE may have hit something here, even though everything prior was rubbish. But yeah, the follow-up's going to be important, and maybe you disagree with me. I was pleasantly surprised by this. Pleasantly surprised. So that was Raw, and they were the ups and downs, and I thought it was a decent show given that we were coming off the back of the pay-per-view. We rehabbed Braun Strowman, we made 205 Live interesting, and we hinted that the Shield's coming back. It's not too bad for a Monday. Not too bad at all. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw. Like, share and subscribe. Head on over to whatculture.com, read some articles. Follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon Miller. Thank you for watching, and you'll see me again tomorrow when I'm up in those downs for SmackDown.